Update from the Hillside Garden. We've had a terrible summer. I mean, it's late August now, third week of August, and we're finally getting a bit of rain. It's still nothing really to speak of, but the only reason we have a hint of green here really is there's been a bit of rain in the last few days. Otherwise, it's been a really disappointing summer, really. We didn't have a drop of rain, really, for 2 months, 3 months. I mean, you just can't keep things going. You know, we talk about resiliency, but you need some rain, like you need some water, you know. And so some of the things I tried this year just did not work out. So last winter, you might have seen me talking about under this apple tree, trying to set up some sort of polyculture guild. Well, the polyculture reverted to its original state, which is this black locust growing very happily, which I'm going to have to chop and drop a little bit because I don't want it getting out of hand, and this shelter that my kid built right on top of whatever was growing there, which wasn't much, to be honest. The only thing, that's really survived here, of all the things I planted, raspberry, gooseberry, blackberry, strawberry, all sorts of other stuff. The only thing that's really survived are some strawberries. Strawberries are amazing, actually, how they can survive drought conditions and still kind of hang on in there. So there's a strawberry there, looks terrible. Another one there. There's a few more dotted around, and you have to learn lessons from this. And I think my lesson is plant strawberries. At least as ground cover. So I think this winter I'm just going to go big on strawberries. I don't know if I'll plant them here, but anywhere I want some decent ground cover, I think I'm going to plant strawberries really close together and try and get something going, because anything that will live in these conditions is welcome. Otherwise, this what I might call the food forest is it's not looking too bad, actually, considering, but there just hasn't been much progress really since I cleared the area and planted a few things. Pawpaw looking very sad, hasn't grown at all this year. It's barely clung to life. Its partner over here somewhere died, so I've got to get another one. Don't think I mulched it deep enough, don't think I watered it deep enough. Story of my life this year, really. Excuse me. But what you do notice is around these new trees where I didn't mow, you get things starting to happen. You get little grasses popping up, Queen Anne's lace, this funny little, I wonder what that is, some kind of leguminous thing maybe, judging by the leaves. Lamb's quarter everywhere. Lamb's quarter will grow. Lamb's quarter is a real pioneering plant, so I'll take the presence of lamb's quarter as a good sign, and I've let it grow. There's more lamb's quarter here. But what's this around the side? Well, I'm not giving up. These are my prunings and various, mostly prunings and various neighbours' prunings as well. I'm going to carry on working on this area. What's the idea behind this? These are kind of the banks where I cleared a lot of the material from this whole area, and it ended up as a sort of natural border, and I thought, well, why not plant out this natural border with some stuff that's going to help regenerate this area. And so my thinking is this winter, or maybe even now, start putting in here some elder, black locust, maybe some hazel, and some other varieties that I think, well, that are fairly pioneering and that'll survive here. To create a kind of border, there's one here as well, kind of around this area. I'd like to imagine a sort of fence of flowering elder, black locust, and other varieties kind of around this whole area, helping provide, well, shade, chop and drop material, and just, adding to the general biomass in this area and improving things, because it's still so bare and dry. So that's one idea for next year, or for this winter. I'm just going to keep going. What can you do? I mean, it wasn't really as happy as I would have liked. Some of my bare root trees just didn't make it. The Williams pear didn't make it on this hill, but look, strawberries surviving in the worst drought in years. And just to show you up here, this berm or swale that I kind of dug, here we've got these Jerusalem artichokes, which are looking a lot happier now for the rain, because they were looking really droopy. You can pretty much count on Jerusalem artichokes. Some asparagus struggling, like these are 5-year-old plants from seed, and they're still barely grown. The conditions are so harsh here, but I'm hoping for improvement. Planted a few courgettes, zucchini, and they seem to be finally doing something. Like literally no zucchini since this year at all. These are the first ones. I'm hoping for something before winter. But look at this swale that I dug here. Interesting, isn't it, how this lamb's quarter has really taken off right along this berm, right along this swale. I'm going to take that as a good sign. Even though nothing much seems to have happened this year, I'd like to think that some pioneering species have found a home here. So although we know it takes swales a few years to start to perform, maybe we're just seeing some early signs of it here, because it's actually quite distinctive how they've grown along here, and I've chopped and dropped some of them already. As for annuals, which I've always struggled with, I've really gone heavy on the Ruth Stout deep straw mulch, and yeah, it's helped. So we got tomatoes here, which struggle for different reasons. They did get a lot of water. I did water them, which is annoying. I hate having to water stuff. Water's a rare commodity here, but okay, I watered them, but they struggle for other reasons. They get attacked by stink bugs, which is why they look a bit sorry there. So if you don't have stink bugs, if your tomatoes all grow nicely by themselves, well, you're very fortunate, because they absolutely do a number on our tomatoes. And I've used a bit of diatomaceous earth on them, and it's suppressed them a little bit, but still not that much. Still not great. We got some basil interplanted in there, and I've interplanted beets in there. So when I'm going to do more as well, more successions of them. The tomatoes out, hopefully they will have time to ripen. The beets will have time to ripen before winter. Bit of sweet potato here, which isn't doing too badly, and chili peppers, well, finally taking off. I mean, again, it's so slow. Should have loads of chilies by now, but anyway, this is a Scotch bonnet, and there's a few green ones on there you can see, so they look like they're finally doing something. And there's jalapenos in here as well. There's a couple, but nothing really to write home about. Again, this bean I planted like 2 months ago. That's it. That's all it's grown. Literally no amount of water, nothing will help. It just, stuff doesn't grow. So the struggle is real around here. in these drought conditions. Cucumber, this was planted again months ago, and only now is it flowering, and I don't know if we'll get any cucumbers this late in the season. This here is an area that I shredded a lot of wood that I had, and I'm trying to, you know, turn it into a proper sort of wood chipped area that I can plant stuff into. Actually, I planted this stuff last winter. What do you call it? Honeyberry. We call it Siberian blueberry round here. That's why I had to think about it. Honeyberry got absolutely hosed here, but it's recovering. So they're quite resilient, and I think the wood chips are doing them a lot of good. This one also looked dead, and now it's recovering a bit. And seaberry, I really like to get seaberry going. This is a female plant that I planted last winter. Really struggled, got absolutely savaged by insects. But there's a little bit of new growth, and I hope it'll develop some resiliency by next year and start doing something. So, that's the Hillside Garden. You can see just how dry the earth is here, just because it's wet now. You have to imagine just how dry and parched it's been. So it's been a really tough summer, and well, we're just going to keep working at regenerating this hillside, adding more green stuff, creating some kind of ecosystem that isn't reliant on bringing in water from outside, bringing in fertility from outside. And well, hopefully, you know, this year's an outlier and next will be a little bit better. But anyway, plenty more ideas and projects in the works, so we'll keep you posted.